You're on the sideline. Your athlete is pacing the warm-up area, bouncing, moving, seemingly scattered. The athlete next to them is completely still, eyes forward, locked in. And you feel the thought forming. Why can't mine be more like that? In our last episode, we looked at what your athlete's energy before competition actually signals, and why trying to redirect it can work against them. Today, we take that one step further. In episode 3, your athlete learned that the performance zone isn't universal. Every athlete has a personal optimal state, a specific bandwidth of arousal and focus that produces their best work. That finding belongs to the parent conversation too, because the reference point you use at the sideline shapes what your athlete learns to aim for. The concept has a name. Yuri Hannon's research identified what he called individual zones of optimal functioning. The idea that each athlete has a personal bandwidth of activation that produces peak performance. Not a universal window, a personal one. A sprinter's optimal state is high arousal, tight, coiled, intense. A distance runner's is lower, looser, measured. A goalkeeper is different from a striker. What looks chaotic from the sideline may be exactly what their body needs to perform. You're not seeing scattered, you're seeing unfamiliar. Without knowing your own athlete's signature, what their peak state actually looks like when it's working, you only have other athletes as your reference, and their zone isn't transferable. Here's the mechanism. When a parent says, "Calm down," or "Look at how focused Jordan is," the athlete receives a performance standard defined by someone else's external behavior. They learn to manage what they look like in those moments instead of what's actually working for them. Two athletes, same competition level, same talent window. Athlete 1. Pre-game, her parent scans the group and comments, "You seem really scattered compared to the other girls. Try to be more settled, like Sarah." She starts managing her presentation. She tightens up. What was her body's actual signal gets replaced by someone else's template. Athlete 2. Her parent watches without comparing. Before the game, one question. "What does your head feel like right now?" The athlete checks in with herself. That habit, repeated across a season, becomes the foundation of a real zone signature. Here's what this isn't: a rule against ever speaking before a game. The question isn't whether you observe, it's what your observation references. A parent who says, "You seem tight, what do you need?" is pulling from their athlete. A parent who says, "You seem tight, look how settled Jamie is, try that," is pulling from someone else. One comment like that, one time, is noise. A season of it teaches your athlete that the measure of their readiness lives outside them. That's a habit that doesn't stop at the sideline. Situation: pre-game warm-up. Your athlete looks scattered or unsettled. The comparison thought forms. What most parents say, "Look how focused Jordan is. Take a breath. Try to get where she is." Say instead, "You know your head better than I do. What does it feel like right now?" Why? You're not ignoring the moment. You're giving them themselves as the reference, instead of someone else. The tool is called the Zone Witness Protocol. It runs in 3 parts and builds over 3 weeks. Here's step 1. Before every game this week, your only job is to observe without comparing. Watch your athlete, not against others, against themselves. How do they warm up before a strong game? What does their body language look like in the 10 minutes before the first whistle? You're building a map, not to prescribe your athlete's pre-game ritual, but to recognize their pattern. So when you see it, you can reflect it back. You look exactly like you did before the conference game. That's not a comparison to another athlete. It's your athlete's own data, returned to them. Step 2 in the worksheet is the zone signature log. 3 weeks of watching gives you the map. Here's your challenge. For the next 3 weeks, remove all comparison language from your pre-game conversations. Don't name another athlete as the standard. Don't suggest your athlete try to match someone else's presentation. Ask the one question instead. What does your head feel like right now? Then, listen. You're not fixing anything. You're giving them the habit of checking in with themselves. The zone your athlete is trying to find isn't in someone else's warm-up. It's in their own history. Every strong performance they've had left a signature. Your job isn't to prescribe it, it's to witness it long enough that they can claim it themselves. You can't feel their zone from the inside. After 3 weeks, you'll know what it looks like from the outside. Give that back to them.